Hello YouTube, and this video is going to be about delegates. So first of all, I'm going to explain what delegates are using a simple example. So you have methods like this: public, static, void main, string, args, and this is the main entry point of our application. And you can see a specific pattern in this, and it is that it returns nothing because it's a void returning type, and it has a string array as an argument which has only one parameter. So this is a simple structure for the method. So it returns void, has one parameter, a string array. So this is the detail about this method. So if I create a new method like this: public static void next string args, both of these apply this law. Actually, this is basically this method also is a void returning type, and it also has a one parameter, a string array. Now both of these methods applies to the same law, so we can use delegates to do this task really easily. Just like interfaces for classes, interfaces are simple law structures or set of rules that are applied to specific classes inheriting it. So it is kind of like interfaces but for methods. So I'm going to create a simple delegate right now: public delegate void show no process text string input. Now this is a simple delegate which is not returning anything, which is because of this is return type is void, and only has a string as the first parameter. So I'm going to create another method: public static void show text. No, let's call this print text, and it also has a string input. The input name or the parameter name is not actually, it's redundant, or it is not compulsory to be the same as this, so I did it for easier visualization. So this is gonna print it input. So the next thing, so to do the next thing, I'm gonna have something now I'm going to use it system.windows.forms, and then the next method is going to be public static void show message string input, and this is going to be doing this message box.show input. And both of these methods are in the same lawsuit, which means it has the void returning type, and it has only a one parameter, which is a string, which must be the same type. So this is same. This method and this method applies with the same set of rules, but it does two different things. This prints the input to the console, and this creates a new message from that from the input. So let's see how we can implement this using delegates. Var processor is equal to new process text. So I'm gonna first add print text, and then processor plus equal to show message, and this is gonna attach this method also to it. So if I change this to int, you can see the pattern of this delegate does not match to this method, so it is saying that it is wrong. So I'm gonna add string back to it, so it is valid because this really matches to both of these methods. And the plus equal to means that it is attaching a new method to the delegate object reference that will be created as the processor. Now I'm gonna call processor console.readline. Now when I call processor right here, it calls both print text and show message by using the same argument. So you can use this for many instances, and most of them in object oriented ways. So as well as you can detach any kind of an event or a method that is attached to a delegate object. So let's see how this works. First, you're gonna give it an input. So both of the both of the methods are called by just using the same parameter or the argument. So that's one way of implementing delegates. So let's switch to the next way. The next heavy advantage of using delegates is that you can pass a function via a method, so as an argument of a method. So this is basically implemented really easily on JavaScript, but it is some kind of harder, or not harder, relatively harder than JavaScript. So I'm gonna create a new method, public static void process, and it is gonna have a new argument from this type, process text, and it's gonna be the function, and they're gonna be a new string input. Now this is gonna call func with the input. So the func means the process text that is going to be input to this function. So this function has nothing to do with this delegate. It does not match with this method. So I'm gonna call, I can't call process right now because I don't have any kind of a function that matches process text. So I'm gonna create a new method, public static void print text string input console bright line input. So what that does is, this is a simple method that matches this delegate, and we can pass that method into this argument right here in this method. So you can use process print text, and you have to avoid this parenthesis right here, and hello world. Sorry for my typing. Hello world. Now it is going to be working right now. Let's see. Yes, it is working. So that's because I have added this matching method to this delegate. So what if I add something like this, console dot write line to here without the parenthesis? It is working as the same. So that's because the console.write line also matches to this delegate. It is also a void returning type with a string input with only one parameter, but there are 18 overloads of this method, and it gets what it matches by using the polymorphism theory. So anyway, this matches also to this method. So this method is used in callbacks in C#. So if a specific function is going to be doing after the base function of this, the base functionality of this method, and it is going to be called at the end like this. So it is a callback function. So it is going to be inside another tutorial, so I'm not going to talk about it. So the next thing is, you can use this without any kind of an input method, just by using an anonymous method which is declared using lambda expressions. So let's call this t. You can use whatever you like in that. So I'm just gonna console.write line that in. So let's see. It also works really fine. So that's because it is called with the same parameters, and it's working really fine. That's because this matches to the same delegate process text. So in this tutorial we're going to be we have talked about the delegates of C#, and thanks for watching guys. See you guys in the next video.